Okay. So this is gonna be a normal video. It's just I'm going to try to pace it faster so I don't try to make something that can I explain in like 5 minutes into something that's like 20 minutes long. This might be a little bit long, but not like 20 minutes long. But this is just like the requirements or like what you need for solo Eidolon hunting or just Eidolon hunting in general. So yeah, so we're going over. First of all, you don't need a pet necessarily, but it is nice to have Nautilus to group up the Vombalus, or a Panzer to have healing with 100 recovery, but for the testing we're going to have it off. So first of all, you need to have Volt. Volt is probably the best frame for doing this, and there are many reasons for that. One important thing you need to know is that you only need two weapons. A Sarpa, you don't need super high level Gunblade, a Sarpa or a Vastalok, and Rubico Prime. That's it. So for the Sarpa, you just put on as much attack speed as you can, along with Shattering Impact, and that's literally it. There's nothing else you need on here, and yeah. So for Sarpa, what you do with it is when you're preparing to hit the Eidolon, you just want to spam your Sarpa to reduce enemy shield. Now, an Eidolon has a base shield of 400, or I think a little less than that. So it will reduce the Eidolon's shield, not shield, armor really quickly. So, yeah. And you can only really do this with the bullet dance stance. The other stances aren't the best at this. But yeah, that's basically how you strip quick. There isn't really much needed explanation for that. Just the faster fire rate you have, the better it will be. Second of all, a Rubico Prime. Now, Rubico Prime is so good because of the crit rate and the crit chance. You should get a ribbon for this. If you can't get a ribbon, that's fine. Really just have a normal build. Amalgam Serration for sprint speed because your Arcwing is very important. You want to have none of this matters besides Hyperion Thrusters. You want Hyperion Thrusters. Also, if you get the Arcwing Piloting rank 8, Arcwing Piloting rank 8 Intrinsics gives you another extra 20% speed, and you want to have your speed ability up when you're using your Arcwing, and that's mostly how you're going to go around the planes. Those are the weapon requirements and just what you need to do in general. So what you would do is just launch your speed, instantly go into Arcwing. The best way is to just try and just launch it, jump, and then go. That's like the best way. But anyways, let's continue. So for the Volt build, there are a lot of simple builds you can do, but the one I recommend the most is this right here. You have Roar of the Subzoom over the 4, all your shields, speed, and Shock Trooper for shock. Shock Trooper gives you extra electrical damage, Vigorous Swap so you can use your sniper for more damage, and Flow for a little bit extra energy. You can add a tiny bit of duration and of quite a bit of strength on here. You don't need that much duration. You can have like a little bit less, but I would recommend a lot because it is kind of helpful when you're trying to do it pretty quickly because you don't want to keep recasting stuff. But yeah, that's most of the important stuff. You don't need that high of a strength roar or a high of a strength shock trooper. You will be doing more than enough damage at like 200, but this is just my preference along with the Archon shards. So for Archon shards, I do recommend 2 casting so you can put down shields faster, but you don't have to have 2 casting. You could just run all strength. These are 3 strength and 2 casting Tau. So this is how fast you go with the shields with Matter-Eye casting buff for 50%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more thing is to always count your shields. Make sure you're always placing 6 and not more than 6 because you don't want to waste energy. Continuing on how you would set this up. It is like immediately you're trying to do this as fast as possible. It's like you're aiming at the Eidolon. He just got up or something. You don't have any shields down. You go into operator. You get out of operator with your melee. You melee cancel operator. So that's the fast way to exit it. I'm gonna reset abilities here so I can show you this faster. So how you do this is go forward, operator, melee cancel, and then cast your 6 shields. Roar, shock trooper, set up with your operator, cast your 1 for Matarai, and hit him twice. There are 2 ways to break a Cyanova. Casting the 6 shields down. That's less than 6. Casting the 6 shields down. And then using Rubico Prime. Or casting the 6 shields down and using your amp. The amp is usually the better method because you can one-shot the Cyanova without having to switch out of your operator. But you can do it with the Rubico while you're waiting for your Matarai ability to recharge. It's usually like this. It does a lot more damage to Eidolons because the weapon damage on the amps isn't reduced. But if you're going for just straight up killing it, for the last phase where you actually want to kill it and capture it, Rubico is recommended. But that's the basics on how to do it. This is the first part. In a few minutes when I'm doing the Eidolon, I will be showing the other parts on how to start Eidolon hunting. So to go over one last time, Volt, you want to have Shock Trooper, you want to have Roar, you want to have your shields, you want to have your speed. Decent strength, a little bit of casting speed if you want it, you don't need it. Rubico build, a decent build. It doesn't have to be amazing. Sarpa, just attack speed and shattering impact. That's it. Any companion you want. You want Hyperion Thruster on the Itzel, so you can go faster. And finally, you just want the rank 8 piloting on your Arcwing. And then how you would set it up, again, you do. If you're using your operator, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, boom. Just like that. But if you're just using the operator, you just hit it through the shields with the 1. And that's it for this video. In a few minutes, I will be showing the actual Eidolon performance and how to do those pretty quickly. And that's it for this one. Pretty quick, 7 minutes, not bad. The next one will probably be 11 because that's how long it takes for a Tridolon to be done, usually. If you're fast, but you can do an 8x3. I'm used to 11x3 by now, though. I need to improve. I've only been really doing these the last 2 weeks. Well, that's it for the video. Goodbye.